this about? I'm sorry, Your Excellency, I don't know.
Viet, you hang up first. Oh. Hey, welcome. This is the 95th Rifles Soviet encampment. We have various things to show you here. We're obviously in a barricaded area. The sign came about 5 miles from, 5 kilometers from Stalingrad. This is Comrade Yugalov. Comrade.
Deputy Political Instructor Yakov Davidovich Ugalov.
That's what I meant to say,
Здравствуйте, товарищ. I am Political Officer Ugalov of 241st Rifle Regiment, 95th Rifle Division of the Red Army of Workers and Peasants. What you see here is a command post 5 kilometers from Stalingrad. We began the Civil War in the Crimea. For 250 days we defended the hero city of Sevastopol. There we were decimated, drawn out of the line, rebuilt, sent to Stalingrad, middle of September, 7,000 strong. A few weeks later, after heavy, fierce combat on the Mamayev Kurgan, we were only 3,700. A couple of weeks after that, the last 500 of our division arose from the ashes of the Barakati tractor factory to be reborn like the phoenix and became the 75th Guards Rifle Division, an honorific title for outstanding units who show stupendous courage in combat. And from there we began the long march into Germany. Stalingrad was the turning point of World War II, the Great Patriotic War against Adolf Hitler. And from that point on, the Germans were never able to mount another major offensive. They were on the defensive from then on. The Soviets were constantly on the attack until, of course, the end, April 1945.
Get out of his face. There's randomness, destruction, despair. Oh, comrades! What do you have to say? Okay, well, that's about it. I've got to call somebody back. Thanks for your time. Bye.
And go. Well, welcome to the camp of the 5th Armored Division, where we do things like practice how to take your Garand apart blindfolded. Minute 45. You ain't gonna make 2. This is Jesse Browning's 1944 Sexton. It's a self-propelled howitzer. It has a 25-pound British gun. It's actually a Canadian vehicle. and 57,000 pounds worth of rolling thunder, and it will knock a tiger on the nose. It was one of the only guns in World War II, besides the 90mm on the Pershing, that was in a tracked vehicle that could stop a tiger on the nose at 1,000 yards. Over here is Bad Check. This is our M3 half-track. That's our radio truck. Welcome to the tour of the 5th Armored Division. If you want, we can check back and see if David's actually got that Garand back together yet. It's together! Did you have to cheat?
Yeah.
You had to
Lost
cheat?
one of the parts.
He's out of practice.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah Morrow, and this is the Viet Cong Hunting Club. Our display here, along with myself and Jeff Franzak, covers the early to mid period of Vietnam. As you would typically see along some sort of officer's base, a command center, we have here the Playboy Mansion, which was aptly named by a lot of soldiers. This is more typical of an officer's quarters. We have field desk, phones, officers' trunks, carrying just regular accoutrement things that have been used. A little further on over here, we have a little more stylish quarters that would have been in regular enlisted men's area of living. As you can see, it's got a little bit more flair to it. There's some hit-ups, decorations, things that officers' quarters wouldn't normally have. This has been so aptly named the Ritz-Carlton.
Good evening. My name is Bill Hess, and I'm commander of Hamilton's Artillery, New York Provincial Company of Artillery. And today we're doing a scenario on Valley Forge. We're doing the winter of 1777. It was a very cold weather. The characters we have are a woman working with a flag. He wanted the huts built with the lumber that was available. The problem was there was very little lumber available at Valley Forge at the time, so the huts were built in all different shapes. Some were dug into the ground. This cannon is a British light 3-pounder with a Verbugen barrel on it. It's a bronze barrel, maximum elevation of about 15 degrees with a range of about a mile to a mile and a quarter. Effective range is anywhere between 460 and 600 yards. It could shoot just about any type of shot except a bomb. It can shoot case shot, solid shot, bar shot, change one gun in the center of the line. There'd be a gun at each end of the line firing an oblique at the opposing force. So with firing multiple shot like grape shot or case shot, which could be up to 4 to 6 to 30 cannon small musket balls at a time, you can see why it'd be very effective against a soldier. The typical musket is only good for about 50 yards.
My name's Pat Sanchez. We're here with the Legion 10 Roman military camp. We portray an early Republican troop. Here we have our signum, our vexillium, and we have our wooden walled fort here. We have our early model ballista, which is an actual working functioning ballista. We have Sude stakes coming up out of the top of the wall, which they would have used for defense. Behind us we have our tent that sleeps 8 for a contubernia of men, which was very similar to a platoon led by a centurion which is what my role would have been in the unit. We have our signum helmet on top, which is what would have been worn by the man carrying the flag, that has a bear mounted to it, sign of ferocity and aggression. This armor is a lorica hamada, which is a chainmail, which was a very early armor that they would have worn, along with a shield that would have been carried by the gentleman that would have worn the bear skin. We have our camp. We've got some stuff cooking here. We have our shields here, ready for go in case anybody should attack us. We're ready and prepared to repel any invaders.
Hi, I'm Jim Page, and the items you see here belong to Daniel Peterson, and we are the 14th Legion from Nashville, Tennessee, and we're making our first appearance here at the Military History Festival. The artifacts and materials you see here are representative of a Roman legion in Britain. The artifacts you see behind you here are other camp equipment and materials associated with any Roman legion as they might have looked in the field. Here you see the shields and the saddles, the cornisons and the tuba and the other materials that are used to signal units on the field. Saddles, individual equipment. We have our ballista here, which is similar to the one that you see behind it. And these are the types of things that we regularly use for public displays in the Nashville area. And we had a great time here at Living History Fest, and we hope to come back again and see you all again in the near future.
Hello, we are Roman reenactors from Legio 30, cohort 3 from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we have two different parts to our little display here. We have the Roman military part, which we'll get to over there. And then over here, on this side, is a domus, a model of a Roman living area with a little bit of a kitchen area here. And then over on the other side is Roman military tags with a lot of the kitchens that would go with it.
I'm with this 709th Static Infantry Division of the Wehrmacht, and over here we are representing a bombed out home in France. So as you can see, we're already pretty much set up. The bombs fell, and now we are now currently occupying a person's home. We have some different areas. We have radio equipment over here to get communications work and information and signals. And then in order to defend ourselves, we have an MG42 right here with the Lafette mount. And then on the other Lafette mount, we have an MG34. If need be, in case of any tanks or anything, we have Panzerschrecks, and we have Panzerfaust, sorry. And we have some Panzerschrecks and a mortar to make sure we're heavily defended. And over here we have an old stove right here, and right next to it is just a small desk for some personal items for a person's display.
I am with Riverwalk Studios. We are a pin-up group, but we don't just do, pin-up attire. We kind of take our own spin on things, make it more modern. We do different costumes. If you were at the Saipan Ball, you probably saw us there. and we were at the actual SciPad convention. We're really fun, we're really outgoing, and we like to promote different businesses, as well as being booth girls. We host parties, anything really out there. We're a really, really fun group, and our girls are just awesome.
This is, of course, not historical, although pop guns do have a long history coming from the late 18th century and moving forward. And the principle is very, of course, simply pneumatic. The happiest sound in the world, whether you're a child with a play gun or an adult with a bottle of champagne.
Oluschka kann nur dieses eine Wort in Deutsch.
We are a band of brothers, a native to the soil, fighting for the property we gained by honest toil. And when our rights were threatened, the cry rose near and far. Hurrah for the bonnie blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights arise. Hurrah for the bonnie blue flag that bears.
Hi, my name is Captain Kenneth Kalinowski with McGregor's Battery, CSA. We're horse artillery attached to the 9th Virginia Cavalry, Company B. Over here on my left is an 1841 field howitzer. It's a 12-pounder, and it was a gun that they would have used in the Mexican War, but there was quite a few of them left when the Confederates took over the federal arsenals in their territory. They captured a lot of federal ordnance, and this would have been typical of the kind of gun that they would have taken. And that's why the limber, which you see behind, which has the ammunition chest on it, the back of it, the back plate says US on it. This is year 1862 for us, so you see the stars and bars displayed. That would have been the national flag that they would have had back then. On the right of me is the Virginia battle flag. It's been the battle flag for the Army of Northern Virginia. And that's why it says 9th VA on the bottom of it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to do a recruiting station from 1862. That's why we have all the uniforms out in accoutrements. We've got everything from brogans to canteens. We've got a roster over there where we're looking to enlist people, and then we would actually uniform them up and then drill them on the gun. Part of the unit is, like I said before, we're also with cavalry, so that we have a representative cavalry saddle, typical of the period back there. The ammunition crates you see are all made exactly the way they would have been back then. We have a gentleman in our group who does a wonderful job with that. In this box over here we have samples of the type of ordnance used in this gun. They would have used a powder bag. This would have had about a pound of powder in it, and it would have been fixed to the back of the cartridge. This would have been an exploding shell with a fuse in it, and it would have been tied to this ring on the bottom here, and put in as a cartridge into the muzzle of the gun. This is a 12-pounder, like I said, and it would have had a 4.62-inch bore. This is an original cannonball, and it weighs about 12 pounds. It's pretty heavy. The range on this gun with a solid shot would have been a maximum of 1,400 yards. Another thing with the smoothbore guns like the howitzer is that you could use canister rounds. Now a canister round makes it into a giant shotgun. It's filled with all these musket balls, and if you were being challenged by cavalry or infantry trying to take your gun, you could put one or even two of these at a time into the barrel and up to 400 yards. These musket balls will pierce 2 or 3 people front to back all the way through. It was one way of trying to keep the gun from falling into enemy hands.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you.
Well, we are the Guild of St. George from Bristol Renaissance Fair. We are members of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth I of the Britons to bear that name. We are members of her court. And here we have just a small showing of courtly life and the way that things were back in 1574. I do myself portray Catherine Ashley, who was the Queen's governess from the time she was 3 years old. So I did raise her. She is the dearest thing to me. Her Majesty calls me Cat, however everyone else may call me Mistress Ashley.
Hello, my name is Karen DeZoma, and I play Elizabeth Cavendish, Countess of Shrewsbury, better known to history as Bess of Hardwick. And we're here at the encampment of the Guild of St. George from the Bristol Renaissance Fair. Over here, you see my compatriot. This is Sheila Horn. She plays Catherine Carey, Baroness Howard of Effingham. She will someday be the Countess of Nottingham when her husband is the Lord Admiral of the Navy against the Spanish Armada. In the distance there, you can see one of our lovely serving women.
I'm a lady.
Excellent. As you can see from my outfit, the bum roll does, in fact, make my butt look big. That's what it's intended to do. Over here, we have the orb and scepter, which is the symbol of Elizabeth's might as Queen of England. The orb symbolizes the Church's domination of the world, and the scepter symbolizes her power as a military leader. Next to that, we see what is known as a 7-rollo chair. It's a style from Italy. It goes back quite a long way, and it continues well past the Elizabethan era. On this table, we have some games and some writing implements. Many of our courtiers like to while away the time playing various games. We have a variant on backgammon and, of course, dice, as old as humanity as a game. Over here on our table, we have a few of the resources that we use to develop our personas. We have Daily Life in Elizabethan England, which is excellent. It covers everything from birth to death. We have Courtly Dance of the Renaissance, which is actually a period dance and etiquette book by Fabrizio Caroso. He's Italian, but we don't hold that against him. We have a book called The Bard's English, which helps us develop our Elizabethan dialect. And we have some information if you know anyone who'd love to join our Yeoman Guards. We're always looking for fine, sturdy young men to join us. Thank you very much for visiting our encampment.
See what I mean?
Yeah, he's a big one.
No idea what you're saying. I didn't do it, I swear! Okay, maybe I did, but there's no witnesses! Okay, there's witnesses, but they all lie. Yes, hello. I am Methuselah Aloysius de Doge, otherwise known as the Mad Dog. We are part of the crew of the Forsaken. Golden age of piracy, pirates, privateers, or pirate hunters. Really depending on who's paying at the time. Welcome to our tavern. If you look around, you'll see the stocks, the gibbet cage, please don't mind the crows, and the various nefarious characters that we have upon our tavern. Yes, let me introduce you to the Tiger Billy. Careful, he may be wanted.
Hey, I got supper.
Right then, Mr. Sims over here is one of our tavern keepers. He's the one that, once we find our booty, we simply need to sell it. He's
our means to an end. Of course, we have our wench, keeps us well imbibed, and takes a lot of money. Yes, once again.
Why are you up there tonight?
She's a fine wench, too. Right then.
Exactly why are you up there tonight?
It seems there was an untimely rumor that I might be a pirate. I, of course, I heartily deny that I'm a pirate because piracy is illegal. I'm sure I have my letter of marque somewhere. I am a privateer, and oftentimes I can be freelanced as a pirate hunter. Yes, I know where they live.
Hey, lad, I told you I'll get the money. I'll pay the money. Hey, if you owe me money, you gotta put money in this bucket till you pay my bill till I get out of this lot.
Good day. I am Captain Sir Thomas Chester. I am with the Guild of St. Michael. We are at this encampment today to muster troops to go to the Low Countries. This, what you see before me here, is a tavern that has been required or acquired by our group while we are currently here. So if you want, let me take you through. And then so the basic goal is to make sure that the men are prepared, that the Spanish know that we are going to be ready for them, that Elizabeth does not view their invasion as something that is good or reasonable, and the men are here to make sure that England is preserved and protected.
Good evening, welcome to our 1939 hall. Please come in. We are welcome in the diorama, which is made out specially for 1939, beginning first day of war.
Yeah, Sapporo, say something.
Oh,
say something nice.
You better speak in English.
No, I don't speak English. I only speak Chinese.
Thank you very much for visiting our display. This is World War II Polish Army Historical Association. Thank you very much for coming and see us.
I'm Jack Pickup. I reenact with 2nd Panzer Division here in Midwestern United States. This weekend we brought out 2 of our vehicles. We actually have a lot of them, half-tracks, trucks, some tote guns. This weekend we have an original German Opel Blitz, which is one of the military vehicles used by the German Army for transport, towing, great logistics vehicle. Runs like a top. The vehicle right behind me is an original 1945 German Hetzer, which is a tank destroyer built on the Czech 38T chassis, which was actually in the Sudetenland, and it produced tanks early in the war. And when those tanks became obsolete, they started using the chassis for other vehicles, like this tank destroyer.
Hi, this is the gun truck Psychotic Reaction. It's a 1957 M35A2. Started as a cargo truck. The history of the truck that in Vietnam, they actually